Pranavayu is generally in charge of your respiratory action and thought process. Well, if this happens, inertia will come into the body. Your prana between the navel and the pit of the throat will not function as it should. Your respiratory action and your thought process and your sense of smell will get lowered. These three are very vital for you to be a vibrant human being. See, there are various movements within the body. As each individual may know this to some extent. If you're a doctor, you think in terms of blood flowing and others, glandular functions happening, which determines your moods and your experiences. But there is something deeper than that. That is, first thing is, the movement of energy, the movement of different vayus in the system, there should be no blockages. So there are vital passages within the body, particularly in the head region. If these passages are blocked, keeping yourself up in an exuberant way is a great effort. So it's in this context, we will spend the next 5 full moons looking at the mechanics of what makes a human being joyful and exuberant. What is the mechanics? What one needs to do? The word vayu literally means that which moves, generally referred to the air. Right now here, the air is moving with force, you can't miss it. It's moving a lot of things along with it. So this aspect which we refer to as vayu is that which moves, it's also an element. Within the body, in a fundamental way, it manifests as 5 basic vayus. Well, if you want to understand it a little more profoundly, it becomes 10. If you want to know every intricacy about it, it becomes 84. But they're too subtle. You will have to spend lifetimes of focus to figure these things out. Generally, if you get the 5 vayus in place and on, the other things will naturally fire up and function by themselves. What these vayus means is, because they move everything in the system. Your digestive fires, if they have to move, these panchavayus are needed. Circulation must happen, nutrients must spread across the body, wastes have to be removed from the cellular level. For everything to happen, you need movement. If you stop the movement, then you will see the body will not be able to sustain life. So whether the flow is full flow or is it a restricted or constipated flow, this is the aspect we are looking at. To breathe in the right way, if you watch a child, you would see, if a child is asleep, you will see child breathes in such a way, the breath is largely between pit of the throat to the navel. He doesn't expand the lower belly, he just here and here, not this. Some adults might have developed the habit of breathing through the entire belly. Well, if this happens, inertia will come into the body. If you generate gases below the navel, that is, if you eat certain types of foods, well, we've gone through this for those of you who've been in engineering. If you eat too much of tuberous material like potatoes and other tuberous substances, you will generate gas which is below the navel. Once you generate gas there, your prana between the navel and the pit of the throat will not function as it should. and the dynamism levels in your system will go down. This is one reason those who wish to meditate, those who are students and those who need to focus their mind and stay awake for long periods of time, they should not eat those substances. Another reason this is happening across the world today is, as the world or as the fools think they are becoming more and more modern, their food gets older and older and older. Fresh food is for the uncivilized. If you're very civilized, you must go to a superstore, buy a box, it has a plastic wrap, take it and throw it, knowing fully well it cannot be biodegraded, and the can is made of something else, usually plastic or aluminum or whatever. From that, if you want, you can heat it in the microwave, which is one more bad thing you're doing, and eat. This may be minimum 3 months old. No, it was in the refrigerator. It is preserved. And they have put preservatives so that it doesn't go bad. That is a double mistake. Now, in the yogic tradition, if you cook anything, maximum within 1.5 hours you must consume it. If there are certain types of items, up to 4 hours is okay. Beyond that, you don't touch. It doesn't matter how tasty it is, how nice it is, you don't touch anything because then you will develop gases in the system. Gas is not only in the stomach that you will feel obviously, but you will develop vayus in the system which will work against your pranavayu. That means your respiratory action and your thought process and your sense of smell will get lowered over a period of time. These three are very vital for you to be a vibrant human being. These are all different ways of activating different pranas in different measure. So the simple thing to do for you is maybe 6-7 minutes, let's say, you will see there is a recharge of energy in the system.
Sure, there are many budding entrepreneurs that are in this room. What's your advice to them to start new businesses, increase the levels of employment for the 50% unemployed youth that we have in our country, and grow our economy so that everybody can be more prosperous, 1% or not?
There are many things that need to be done, there's no one particular thing. But entrepreneurship is something that needs a certain psychological ecology of its own. You will see those youth who come from business families so effortlessly create businesses. Those who don't come from that ecosystem, they struggle and they can't figure it out. It's not lack of intelligence, it is lack of experience and exposure. So I would say one of the things is the youth who are wanting to do something, I'm sure there are many of them, if some kind of selection can be made and they're exposed to enterprises in similar conditions. Let's say in rural India, how any number of enterprises. India is a land of enterprise because till 2000, only 3% of Indians were employed, 97% were self-employed. So whether he may be selling 5 kilograms of vegetable or fruit or maybe a very large billion-dollar business, it doesn't matter. Even he understands how to do business, where he has to position himself, what he has to say, what he should not say. These are simple things, but till you're in it, you don't learn. So, learning this experience, not necessarily from the public, but there are institutes and institutions in India which can teach entrepreneurship. We ourselves in Isha are starting a leadership academy in Bangalore city, where youth from these countries can come and get exposed to variety of enterprise. I mean, the incredible thing right now in India is, the variety of enterprise is unbelievable. When you go for so much enterprise, some of them will fail, so it needs a net to hold them so that they don't fall back onto the street or hang from a tree, which is unfortunately happening here and there. But It is time to do that because we have chosen market economy. There is no other way than to unbridled enterprise. Is it the best thing? I'm saying no. But right now, to get people out of their poverty situations, to make sure everybody eats. When I say everybody eats, in India it's very true, I'm sure, here also to some extent, but wherever I go, in any country, first thing I see is what's the condition of the children. I find, to my joy, the condition of the South African children is way better than the conditions of the Indian children in rural India. It's a very good thing to see. At least they're better nourished for whatever reason. In India, this is true that a child has to go to school and spend 8 hours there, but he has not eaten what he needs to eat to stay alert for these 8 hours and grasp whatever he's supposed to grasp. A farmer goes to his field and he's not eaten what he should eat to do that hard task of, farming. Or a pregnant woman has not eaten what she should eat to produce a lively, healthy child. These are terrible things. But these terrible things are happening because populations are large and we are not able to create a social net. So this is why this corporate social responsibility was brought in, but people find ways to use this money in so many different ways, that's another matter. But social net has to happen. But the danger of social nets is always about destroying the work culture and breeding lethargy. This is something the administrators have to carefully… I would say it needs a certain level of heartlessness where tough decisions have to be made. People are suffering, but still you make tough decisions so that long term it works out well for you. That today you start doling out food to everybody, you will see, if you want to destroy a nation, you don't have to bomb it, you just destroy its work culture, it's finished.
In a world full of cuts, short videos, and distractions, you chose to stay and listen until the end. That already says a lot about your willingness to look deeper. Drop your city in the comments, and if you'd like, subscribe and share this video with someone who's also not afraid to think. Thank you, a big hug to you, and see you in the next video.